Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom, there lived a king whose laziness was legendary. He neither cared for his people nor his throne. His royal routine? Eat, sleep, repeat. While the king indulged in endless feasts and naps, his kingdom suffered. Crops withered from neglect. Their once green leaves now brittle and yellow under the harsh sun. Marketplaces grew eerily silent, with dusty stalls abandoned and the faint, bitter scent of rot lingering in the air. Even the palace walls began to crumble, stones chipped and vines creeping through cracks, reflecting the decay of the land. The people whispered tales of despair, longing for a ruler who actually ruled. The ministers tried everything: advice, warnings, even subtle insults. But the king remained glued to his luxurious bed, growing heavier with each passing day. Word of the lazy king spread beyond borders. In neighboring courts, jesters performed comedic skits, mocking the sleeping sovereign, and rival rulers exchanged letters filled with sarcasm about the king's sloth. This humiliation didn't bother him, until one day he accidentally caught his reflection in a grand mirror. What he saw wasn't a mighty ruler, but a shadow of a man, bloated, tired, and lost. For the first time, shame pierced through his laziness. If you're curious to see how this lazy king transforms his life, hit the subscribe button and like this video to stay with the story. Determined to change, the king made an announcement. A grand reward awaits anyone who can restore my strength and health. Healers, physicians, and so-called miracle workers flooded the palace with exotic herbs, magical tonics, and secret potions. The king consumed them all, but instead of losing weight, he gained even more. Frustration mounted until an old sage appeared. The sage, with piercing eyes that seemed to hold ancient secrets and a voice calm yet powerful, spoke confidently. "I can cure you, but there's a condition. You must come to me. I do not visit kings. Kings visit me." The king was furious. "How dare he? I can barely stand." But his ministers pleaded, "Your Majesty, this might be your last chance." Reluctantly, the king tried. As he sat up, his body screamed with resistance, muscles unused to exertion trembling. With soldiers supporting him, he wobbled out of bed, sweat beading on his forehead from the effort. Each step felt like climbing a mountain, his legs burning and breath ragged, as if the very air grew heavier with each movement. But he persisted. The next day, he did it again, and again. Every time he reached the sage's humble hut, the sage would smile and say, "Come back tomorrow." Want to know the sage's secret remedy? Smash that like button now and keep watching to find out the twist. Days turned into weeks. The king, now walking more than he had in years, found his steps becoming steadier, his breath less labored. After a month, the sage finally handed him a simple cup of water. The king drank eagerly, his heart racing with anticipation. Could this be the miracle that would restore him? He wondered, his mind flashing back to all the failures, the mockery, the helplessness he had felt. "What is this miracle potion?" he asked, eyes wide with hope, expecting a magical elixir. The sage chuckled. "It's just water, Your Majesty. The real remedy was your effort. Every step you took, every struggle you faced, that healed you. There are no shortcuts to strength, only the path of perseverance." The king stood silent, realization dawning. His transformation hadn't come from magic, but from within. From that day on, he ruled with vigor, leading his kingdom to prosperity. Lesson: the king's journey teaches us that challenges aren't obstacles. They're the very steps that lead us to growth and greatness. Just like the king discovered, True success comes from effort, persistence, and self-discipline. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs a reminder of the power of perseverance. And for more motivational tales, subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you in the next story.